going to teleport him to actually do some damage. I love little things like that. It's not just a teleport. The crew has everything. It's kind of every skill, every power has so many aspects to it and so much detail on the actual animation that there's nothing bad about this game, honestly. It's just, it wows us every time.
I want you to go on a nightly quest. I want you to finish what you have begun. Kill King Arthur, or whatever he has become, after I took his dying vessel to Avalon.
Hello guys, welcome back to Scuba's Game. Today I'm bringing you a dark fantasy RPG turn-based epic game that I consider a masterpiece. It is absolutely beautiful, brilliantly done, simplistic, but in a sense of the depth behind everything is so important. The strategy behind every move is so important that it keeps you thinking non-stop. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Now let's get on with it. So what is King Arthur: A Knight's Tale? It's a game that was released on Windows in early access around November 2022. And it's just gained momentum from there. It released on Xbox and PlayStation on the full release for PC in February 2024. And it's absolutely ticks every box that I would ever want on a game. On a turn-based is my genre, and this game has it all. Now, the aesthetics, to me, the graphics, the art style, the tactical combat, the grid system, it's everything I would want in a game. The difficulty is insane to a point of, on the hardest difficulty, and I play everything the hardest difficulty, I've had to take month breaks because it's frustrating us that much, but I've known deep down that it was a mistake I made 2 missions before. Something that I didn't do in the castle that has led to this moment, so I know it's my mistake, and rather than admit it, I've been stubborn and I've took a month away from the game. Now, looking here, we've got the Hermit. Now, he's not normally with you. You've normally got 4 party members, okay? Now, the Hermit's an extra character, which again, I think is brilliant with this game, in the sense of, they've given this character, he's a story arc, but they've let you control him so you can see what's to come. If you do bring him on, normally they do this, where you get a character, you play them, it's part of the story, they'll eventually join you. Now, it also just gives you, to use this character gives you a sense of how he perceives things, how his spells work, how he can help the party, and then like that, he's gone. And you just kind of depend on him at this point, and then he's gone. He leaves you at the hardest battle of the game, which is quite annoying. So, what you've got is, you've got your armor, guys, which is absolutely crucial in this game. You've only got 3 things right on here. You've got your armor, you've got your vitality, which is stops you from getting injuries, which I'll explain later. So your vitality is the most important. Once that goes down, you can die, basically. Your armor is going to stop melee attacks before they get to hit points. Once your hit points are gone, you go to vitality. Obviously, spells and damage over time can just bypass the armor and they'll go straight to your hit points. Once that's down to vitality, you know you're starting to worry. So guys, throughout each mission, you'll have campfires like this. Now, on the harder difficulties, and I'm guessing the lower difficulties as well, because this game is so brutal, these are massively important. In the sense of, there could be such a tough fight later on and you could waste it earlier on. You might use it and think, why did I do that? So again, it's strategic in what to do. Now on the harder difficulties, what happens is, you can only pick one. It's only going to give you 50% of whatever you choose. Now at this moment, looking at my party, although we do need HP, what I think is much more important at this point in time would be my armor. So we're going to use this, but again, that's the campfire gone. You're going to rest. Now, you can have passives that can help when you rest and they can build up HP or vitality. But again, that's something you're going to have to manage and do back at the castle. So, yes you do, guys. So look, the armor's up now. what's brilliant about this, it's just a simple thing, but look, once the fire's used, just the smoke going there, look at the graphics. You've got the staffs with the aura around them, you've got the background, you've got skulls everywhere. The attention to detail in this game is incredible. They don't miss a trick on any level. No level do you ever walk in and think, nah, they didn't really try with this. You think, wow. Whether it's swamp, desert, anything, you're just like, wow. And that's what I love. So the most important question is, how good is the combat? The combat is absolutely incredible. Like, I would say perfect. Let's have a look. Okay, guys, so the combat. Now, this is my personal preference. I love the grid system. I love structure. I love being told, these are the boundaries. Them blue squares are my boundaries. I love seeing the squares in front of us saying you can move X amount of squares. Don't get us wrong, games like Baldur's Gate and things like that I absolutely love as well. But for my brain specifically, I like to know exactly. I love the grid system. Personal preference, I love it. So as you can hear, the music gives a good atmosphere, doesn't it? It gets you right in the mood. It's kind of intense, so straight away you're up for it. Every time a battle comes, it gets me pumped. Now, talking about the battle system, what makes it so good? I would say, again, the simplicity, okay? In the sense of, there's not a million stats flying around. There's not tons and tons of things that you can choose from. When you level up, guys, it's not in the sense of, you've got all these levels to do. It takes a long time to level each section of your character, which makes it more rewarding, more fulfilling, and it's epic when you pull things off that you've chose the right skill path to go, and you know when you've chose the wrong one. Now, when it comes to battle, guys, you've got the person that takes all the damage. You've got Sir Mordred. You could have went either way, but I've chosen him as a tank. So I'll show you what the combat's all about, guys. So, guys, as the game progresses, like any other game, the difficulty becomes more and more. Some difficulty spikes absolutely blow you away, but they don't just add extra health to the enemies and extra damage. They mix it all up and they add new elements, new skills, new powers, new strategies that you have to really, really think about. So when you come to this battle, you're not like, oh, it's just like the same enemy rehashed. No, they've got their own strategies. And this guy here, with just this protection for that one turn, is insane, because now I have to plan my whole party around him not getting close enough when he's got that on that I can't do anything to him. Okay? So, what you've got, guys, is I've got Sir Mordred, my main guy. So if I was to come here, what I like to do in any turn-based game, if they've got shield bash, it'll knock him straight over. And it's kind of keeping him out of the situation. Now, if they're on the floor, they're more vulnerable. Okay? So it's a bit like a backstab. And it's knocked him back even further, which is exactly what we want, guys. So we've got Hermit, like I was saying, as a story arc. And we've got him, so he's a playable character for now. We're going to teleport him to actually do some damage. I love little things like that. It's not just a teleport. The crows, everything. It's kind of every skill, every power has so many aspects to it and so much detail on the actual animation that there's nothing bad about this game, honestly. It's just, it wows us every time. So we're going to put an illusion first, because it's going to get these guys, because they're melee, they'll go after this. So we're going to put that over there as a distraction. Now this guy is imperative that we get this guy down, because he's chieftain, he's going to do some serious damage. He's not as strong as these, but he will honestly cripple this team. Another good skill here is, well, honestly, I get so excited about this game. Mind Fog, okay? Now we're going to use Mind Fog on this guy. See? So now this pick warrior is going to attack the closest enemy to him, because he failed the test and now he's been mesmerized by the Hermit. We've got the White Knight. Guys, the White Knight. Now, what I'll do after this combat is we're going to go to the castle and I'm going to show you how I got to the White Knight. I'm going to show you why the combat is hugely important, but why after the combat is equally as important. You don't want to be bored. You don't just want to get out the game and get straight back in. You want to enjoy and have something to do outside of the missions. And how I got the White Knight was a story in itself, which I'll be sharing after I show you a bit more about the combat. So the White Knight, I love him more for his aesthetics, me. The way he looks absolutely incredible. And when he uses this blessed weapon, he just looks the business. So I'm kind of, you know, I'm a bit guilty of looking good rather than going with the better teammate, right? So he's going to encourage the people around him, and they're going to get an extra movement. So this is perfect for this guy. So this is Sir Van, and what he does is he's got an aim shot, and he uses every bit of AP we've got, but it won't matter because that's got a vulnerability, but we can take this guy down. So this is a good one. So this will be attacking every enemy in a straight line. And I love my range attack. I absolutely think they're mint. Right, so we've got the cleave, which I love because it's attacking everybody. Okay, I'm stupid because I should have used that first. And that'll make him vulnerable for when I do this. I love a game like this that challenges your mind, but can look simplistic, but it's actually got more strategy than a lot of other games out there. To me, this is probably the hardest turn-based game I've played. If you think of another one, put it down in the comments. But on the hardest difficulty, with the roguelike approach, it is absolutely brutal and I love it.
I serve the Lord.
There's no point using that.
I am here to serve. Your Highness? What?
So they've got the bleed attacks going there. He's dodged that. Nice. Look. Right, so what I find with Sir Mordric as well is the shield bash can get him out of a situation like this if he can reach that person. So that will get him out of being surrounded right here, which I do think is a good move at this point in time. So I'm going to move him out of there. It will not knock him over. Right, as you can see guys, on this particular enemy, that he's got a physical debuff resist of 50 goddamn %. So the chance of knocking him down are quite slim. He's still got a goddamn cooldown on that. So at the minute we know exactly what's coming.
No mercy for the wicked.
There we go guys. Whoosh. Now, most importantly is now, because we're attacking from behind, look at the damage we are about to do. We're going to go again. This guy, and he's on fire. He'll be gone next move, and we're going to get him out of dodge. Look at that. I just love that move, man. I love that move. Right.
We're still standing. I bleed for your sins. I am his.
So as you can see from that, the sound effects as you get hit or you hit someone else, you can actually feel it. The umps and the thumps, they feel absolutely like, again, the sound effects, the music, everything. There's a lot of detail into it. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to show you what's so special about after the mission. Why I love this game. Because as much as the combat's amazing, I feel like that can't be enough to keep my attention. I have to enjoy it outside of combat as well. So let's have a look. So guys, this is Camelot. This is what it's all about. The Knights of the Round Table. I'm not going to give too much away, but let's see you are going to enjoy this. It's all got a twist, a dark twist in that. Now, guys, so as I was saying about the White Knight, the morality chart, if you look, so as you progress on the map, you will get random missions that pop up, and you get to have moral choices, which I'll show you in a minute. And what they do is they'll influence what characters you can go for, unlock certain characters for future missions, and they will unlock a side quest to get them. And their missions in themselves are very challenging, but at the end, you get someone like the White Knight. Okay, because I've got the morality up to 8, so that's how that works. You can go either way. You can go for the Black Knight, you go for Sir Legrance, you could go for Sir Bedivere, and there's so many different things you can unlock, and it's up to you, and that's what gives it replayability as well. So what you have here, guys, is you have challenges throughout the game, and what they do is essentially they unlock legendary potions. Now these are one-off uses in the character, as you can see. They can use them once, and once that's used, it's on him, and he's only got 4. So again, the strategy behind this, you've got to actually tactically think about it. Now, other things is you've got on different characters, you've got the morality chart. Now, if you see he's neutral, so we'll find someone that's Christian. Now, because I've went the Christian route, and I wanted the White Knight, most importantly, is now this is helping me with one of my key characters, and I rely on her a lot. Ranged attack, she's absolutely great. So, as you can see, she now goes up to the top of loyalty, which is massively important. It's going to give her 20% damage, and that extra 1 AP is absolutely mind-blowingly crucial in the sense of it could be the difference between life and death. It could be the difference between 1 shot and 2 shots, and that second shot could be the killer blow. So that's a really good thing to have. So then you've got the opposite, -3 just from the off. She's disloyal. Now she's negative, and as the go, she's going to get -10% during battles, all the way here, -10% damage. So then you have to think further down the line, because if you go here, the round table, you will see these are the heroes that I picked up along the way. Now again, you have to think about it. Am I going to keep these people because I've only got so many slots? And when I get my next character going to mission, knowing I'll pick up a character, I have to decide to get rid of one of these. Who's it going to be? Now, Lady Guinevere is part of the main story, so I want to keep her. That's how I got her. But the way my loyalty is going to go, it's going to be conflicting with hers, so I'm going to have to make a massive decision. Now, I've then got to weigh up these guys and see what theirs is. He's lazy, so he can't go on 3 missions in a row, and I love like little traits like that. Another thing you've got, guys, is you can have core titles. And what you can do, guys, is you can move your characters into these positions, and I've kind of counteracted her -3 by putting her +3 by putting her at the, the top there. And you can move him about, he gets +4. And you've got different things you can put them in. If I was to put someone into Grand Master, the gold cost decreases. So it depends on who you put into these spots as to what benefits you get. They're all different. They might give you slightly less, slightly more, or something different altogether. So again, what I was saying before is it can't just be about the combat. Although a lot of people just play these turn-based games for the combat, this keeps me interested out. So when I've finished a mission, I'm like, God, thank God that's over. What could I have done better? I reflect on it. And what do? I start looking at the castle, what I call my home, my character's home. And I'm like, right, how can we plan ahead? Who am I going to take to the cathedral? Sir Kay, he's always getting injured, so he'll be there. But because I've managed to think ahead and I've upgraded this, it means that the treatment time is down by 1. So instead of using gold, I'm getting it for free. So we'll use that. He's in there getting healed, but it takes him out the equation. We can't use him. So that's a character down. Obviously, there's things that I've had to develop these. You can upgrade them. You go to the training ground. Now, obviously, you guys on the missions are receiving XP. If you put Sir Pellis in here, look, so it's reducing the cost by 10%. Because I've got this character in here, at the start of every goddamn mission, he's getting 2 temporary armor to the heroes at the start of every mission. And that is massive, So you have to weigh everything up. Right, so we've got the merchant. Again, we've got Sir, You have it in there in 10%. Items cost 10% less. Okay, you've got legendary items and things like that, but we haven't got the gold at the minute because I use the gold to upgrade other things, okay? Right guys, so in the hospice, this is important because remember I was saying how important vitality was? They need to have that because look, they're going to go in the mission and it's going to make a more acceptable injuries and things like that. So it's imperative that she gets that sorted, so that takes her out. So on the map guys, what you'll see here is again the morality system. So on these random missions that come up, do I want to get Enchanted Tower upgrade to 10% more relic dust, which is really important, but they're going to get negatives on 2 of my characters, or am I going to get 2 positives? And Sir Mordred is going to suffer an injury. We're going to go for this one, and you'll see. So Sir Mordred now has a wound. So any poison effect is double, but it was worth the hit. So these are missions that I've done, guys. And what it is you unlock these missions as you go. There's usually 2 or 3 on the map. Now, this is where it gets really hard. I've done everything on this map. I'm left with this mission. It's level 10, I'm level 9. What happens if my players are injured? Like, what's happened there? This is how I'm going to go forward. But just for example's sake, I'm now left with people that are level 8. 2 level 8 and level 9 going to level 10 on the hardest difficulties. It's just, we're not going to be able to do it. So I've pigeonholed myself here. And I'm basically knackered. Now this is where the strategy comes in. And the more you play it, the more you learn from your mistakes, and the more you want to go back to the very start and just do it right. You'll still make mistakes, but you'll go back again to the point of you'll start mastering the game. And I enjoy each run. Now, I feel like what I love about this game is it's constantly challenging us. It's constantly making my brain think, what did I do wrong on that 2 missions before that has led to this? And I'll think about it and think, right, if I start again, don't make that mistake, go this way instead of that way, upgrade this certain thing on Camelot. Guys, it just has us thinking constantly, and I think when a game does that here, it's special. And that's why I think this game's a masterpiece, because everything aesthetically I would choose to have. I love the building of Camelot. I love how you've got to think about injuries, vitality, deaths, and even when you use campfires in the battles, and the strategy around the turn-based battles themselves, the grid system, the attention to every detail, the sound effects, the sound, the different options. You can play it roguelike, you can not, you can play it on a super hard difficulty, you can not. They're bringing out DLC, everything, guys. This game is absolutely breathtaking, and I can't recommend it enough. If you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below if you think there's a better turn-based game out there, and I'll be speaking soon.